Okay, so another random thought. I was thinking about, when I first started noticing, right? And I slowly noticed, right, about, it's crazy how you can't even talk about it, bro. It really is crazy how you can't even talk about it. I'm scared to talk about it, but let me just speak with the no filter, right? And tell you this thought. When I started to notice, right, it was on my own education. It was like on my own free will, and this camera's kind of bad. It was on my own free will, and I was just doing research. I was first doing research about money. I wanted to know more about money. And when I started knowing about money, right, because I wanted to know, like, where did banks come from? Like, what is a bank and how did money start? And I just started doing research and I started noticing things. I was like, just simple, like, history book research type. Like, no, I'm not hearing this from a person. I'm literally just looking this up online, like, just, and in actual literal physical books. I start noticing, and I know where money comes from and how it's been used over the years and how banking has been used. Anyways, then I started noticing the other things. And you lead to this big, it just goes down a rabbit hole, right? I don't know how. And I'm starting to think, so this is the thought, right? I'm a noticer now. I'm full-fledged, like, you could call me, not really, anti-Semitic, but come on. You just started noticing, right? So America all started noticing. Here's the thing. Here's my point, right? There is going to be some sort of, like, multiple people are noticing. Maybe they'll try to brush it under the rug like they do everything else. But I think this is one of those things that can't be brushed under the rug because it's stacked up on too many other things like COVID and just like a whole, but the race division thing, like all of it, like we see through all of it now. But here's the thing, this plan, if you really do your research, right? Because you go to a deep dive and not to just history of money, but history of like a lot of things, history of nations and history of, religions and, going back to my own religion, Christianity, and, even past religion, talking about the history of where humans came from, but that's off topic. The point is, they've been planning this. These things have been happening for hundreds and thousands of years. Satan has been on this earth before Adam and Eve, right? So there's no way, especially the masses, like the general public, will outsmart. But anyways, I always start to notice things before they happen, and they a few months later or a year later, they come to be true. And I start realizing that I'm being, like, they want us to notice right now, right? And you also do history research on, like, why would you say that, Isaiah? Well, they want us to notice just how they wanted us to notice every other thing. They wanted us to notice George Floyd. They wanted us to notice, the war in Ukraine. They wanted us to notice LGBTQ. They wanted us to notice these things. They wanted us to notice when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. They wanted us to notice, like, the Emmys or whatever. And they also want us to notice the political, everything. Everything, almost everything is a lie or is being used, right? Because it says in the Bible that the devil, Satan, is the prince of this world, right? So he's ruling on this world. So I was just having a thought of, like, now I'm anti-Semitic. They want me to be anti-Semitic. They want America to fight back because they want us to, all of it is planned. All of it is planned. And the plan could go either way, but, like, they're so in tune. Like, the devil is here, the Antichrist is here, and, like, bro, if you're thinking that there's not literal portals to hell and, like, portals to other dimensions, and there's not actual physical demon, like, I'm not talking spiritual demons. Those are real too, very real. I'm talking about, bro, we're in 2025. Yes, they have portals to other dimensions. Yes, they're planning the end of the world, and they are planning, an intergalactic war with God and all that, but that's so off the topic. The point is, the thought is, like, if I do put this on YouTube, and people understand what I'm saying, and they kind of maybe think, okay, maybe he has a point. Maybe they do want us to be, I'm telling you, they want us to be hoodwinked to like start a revolution against Jews or whatever, just so they could bankrupt America, because they already have control of America, and that's the plan, is to bankrupt America and then put war on America. I'm saying we can fight this by being smarter. We can fight this by not being, come on, anti-Semitic. Not every Jew is a bad person. And you know what? I wasn't saying that a few months ago. A few months ago or whatever, I was legit anti-Semitic. And then I started to like, you know, do more research and like do like other Jews are against, you know, the satanic cult, the synagogue of Satan, which is real. And they just mask around the Jewish religion, right? But they've been doing it since Jesus was around. Jesus called them out, right? So, you know, the Israeli state or whatever, that's not the new synagogue of Satan. Like the synagogue of Satan didn't just start with the state of Israel. No, it's been like before Jesus was here, like before Jesus was here in the flesh, right? On planet Earth specifically is what I'm talking about. Satan was here, right? Probably physically, I don't know, but definitely spiritually. So I'm just saying, this is a random, you know, easy up. I could get canceled for saying all these things, but you know, I'm being real, and I do want men to stand up and notice. Don't get freaked out over conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories, like a lot of them are real. Some of them are bullshit. But you know what I've realized? Worrying about anything at all that's not aligned with what you want out of this life. Anything that it doesn't involve like what you truly want and believe, and where you feel your soul is called, or what you're called to do, like, it's okay to ignore that shit. Like, ignore it and focus on doing, don't worry about it, conspiracy theories. It's probably right, but guess what? You freaking out and worrying about it ain't gonna do nothing, right? A lot of people know that. How do you fight against it though? How do you literally fight against it? You literally don't worry about it to an extent, right? You still keep up with world a little bit, right? Just for information based, not to put fear in you, maybe a little hustle in you. But the best way to go against it is to better yourself. Get as strong as possible, physically, mentally, spiritually, you know, and financially, right? It is what it is. We live in a world now to where, like, yeah, you have to have money, right? Get used to it. Don't whine about it. Do it. Get better at it. Learn it. It's difficult. But be the best version of yourself that you can every single day. And that starts with the little things. That's what they don't want. That's what the synagogue of Satan doesn't want, right? They want you to panic about Jews. The synagogue of Satan wants you to panic about Jews, but no, don't panic about Jews, right? It is what it is. The world, they're going along with their plan. You think they're worried about us? No, they're doing their plan. So how do we go against them? We go with our plan. What is that? Be the best version of ourselves as possible. Be as strong as possible, smart as possible. Whatever your strength is, right? If it's fitness, being a fitness influencer, do it. Do it for the right reasons and do it to the best of your ability, right? If it's, you know, running a business, like for me, wholesale real estate, but if yours is drop shipping or whatever, TikTok shop, whatever, you want to be whatever, make sure that it's aligned with you being the best version of yourself as possible, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, and, lead others to do what is right. And you know, when you have enough people like that, because that was the whole goal from the beginning, from the 80s, bringing crack in the neighborhoods, or all these other World War II, World War I, all these things, the way they destroyed, degradate America, or I think that's the right word, degradate America, you know, morally, they just bring us down, you know, all of it. The way that we fight it is by being strong, not distracted, being focused on our goals, focused on getting stronger and getting better, right? This is what they don't want you to hear. What they want you to hear is Israel and Palestine. What they want you to hear is Trump teaming up with the Israelis. What they want you to hear is the Israeli spies that run our government. Yes, of course they do. Of course they do. But guess what? We were only allowed to know it now. It's only allowed to be in the mainstream media now. Why? Because they want it to be. Because that's what they want us to worry about. Because they want us to get emotional. They want us to be emotion-based, fear-based. Don't be emotion-based. Don't be fear-based. We fight back, especially with the next generation, by being the best version of ourselves as possible. If I upload this to YouTube and it gets only 10 views and then I die from it, damn. Right? But that's the nuance of the fear of someone like me saying something about it. Right? Maybe they'll let me post it and keep it posted because you know, they want it to be a big deal or whatever now, but what they don't want to be a big deal is you focusing and accepting Christ as your Lord and Savior. Well, look, if you don't believe in Christ right now, go on your own journey and find God. Try to find God in the truth, or however, look for the truth. I promise you it leads to Jesus every time, right? Because I've been on my journey, my spiritual journey, for a very long time. And I've been an atheist for a long time, you know, dabbled in Muslim, Islam, dabbled in some other things, just always searching for information. But I promise you the truth, when you really search for truth, right? And here's the beautiful thing, is that truth is inside of you, because whether you like it or not, there's the spark of God in you, and the spark of God is pure. It's all truth. It is the way and the life, and it's a little piece of it is inside of you, and you can tune into that to find the truth. You really don't need to go anywhere outside of yourself to know what the truth is, but you could look outside of yourself for the truth too. And if you do a good job at it, I promise you it will lead to Jesus Christ. That's what they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear you getting stronger. They don't want to hear you getting richer. They don't want to hear you getting better. Best believe taxes are a scam. That'll probably get me canceled. Taxes are a scam. As Americans, we should not pay taxes at all, 100%. Yeah, the federal bank is a complete scam. It's a complete criminal organization, right? And you could do your research and know that it is a criminal organization. They rob Americans every single day. Like, why do you think the market crashed in 2008? Why do you think, dude, why do you think there's so many homeless people in America, right? Some people would say it's because of choice, right? Which to a certain degree it 1,000% is. But at the same time, we know who's been influencing America. And I'm not saying blame any certain religion. I'm just saying it's there, it's real, acknowledge it. They want us to freak out about it now. People have been freaking out about it before, but they've either been silenced or whatever. But the point is, guys, I don't want you to freak out about it. I don't want you to just I don't want you to be scared to talk about it, but I also don't want you to freak out about it and make it your whole personality. What I want you to do is, whatever you're good at, whatever your strength is, I want you to become the best version of yourself possible, right? I want you to get strong as possible, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, everything, right? Faith, fitness, finance, and family. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this thought. Is in a nutshell, it's everybody's noticing for a reason, because they're allowing us to notice, and they want us to start a revolt so they could, you know, the proof is in the pudding. You know, their plans always go through fruition. But if you know anything about the synagogue of Satan, they hate America, they hate white people, and they plan to destroy America. And you could look up rabbis saying this to this day in 2025. They're telling you that's what happened. They're using Trump. Yes, the Jews love Trump. The Trump has always been good with the Jews. But anyways, that's why I'm saying don't focus on a religion, even though the entire thing is masked in a religion, but not a true religion, a false religion that claims someone else's name. Get better, okay? If you want to become a student, you want to level up with me, you feel like maybe you're at a plateau or whatever, you feel like you want to get better in life, you at least want to know how to wholesale real estate, maybe you just want to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who, you know, think the same way that I think, and you know, because there's others like me, and you know, we join in Discord, we talk, and if you want me to be your mentor though, and you want to be a student, you want to make, you know, up to $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $47,000 is the most that a student made in a single month, with spending no dollars on marketing, all from Zillow, right? Sounds too good to be true, but no, it's a fact. I do it, my students have done it, I have proof. Go watch my YouTube. But if this video goes on YouTube, yeah, stay Stay motivated, y'all. Oh, if you want to be a student, click the link below, and my free course for wholesaling is below. Subscribe, like and comment. Stay motivated.